Gospels, we see this invitation to join Jesus in the middle of the story that God has been writing since the very beginning of time. And where we encounter this moment where Jesus enters the scene and invites us to join in this divine narrative of renewal and restoration. And the way that he does that is not by gathering the masses first, but rather getting his disciples into a small and intimate community. And so one of the things that I've come to believe is one of the greatest means of transformation, both personally and communally, is how we gather in small groups of people. And so this year we're really excited to present an opportunity to gather in community groups. Community groups are designed to be no more than 6 to 10 students, where we get to look at the story of Jesus. We want to not just know the story, but rather figure out where we find our place in what God has been doing since the beginning of time. And so this year, as we reimagine what discipleship with Jesus looks like, especially in a global pandemic in the age of uncertainty, we want you to be a part of a community group. And it's not just about knowing Jesus and knowing the story about Jesus, but rather who we're becoming. And I want to say this, I think at the end of the day, global transformation that was initiated by Jesus was actually modeled in this way. This is the blueprint where we gather in small groups of people in a world that asks us to stretch ourselves wider and wider. Jesus is calling us to go deeper and deeper. And so we hope that through community groups, we're going to find ways not just to connect with God on a deeper level, but with each other.
So Cyrus has invited us into the theme for this fall semester. And what we're also excited about is the practices and the participation that we're going to engage in as well. As we go into this fall semester, we're excited to provide you with some resources as well as daily reflection questions to spur you on in your participation with the way of Jesus this fall. Our heart in engaging this participation is that as God transforms us, we would grow further into the image of Christ as we learn what it looks like to gain understanding through the act of participation. Thank you so much for joining us in this journey as we see community groups become a really important part of who we are at ACU this semester.